What are your thoughts on like auto grading as well as normal grading?
Would you say it's better to have 20 cards that are worth $50 or 100 cards that are worth $10?
Like I've got a bankroll, but
Okay.
this card's in perfect condition. Should I spend it all on this one card and grade it?
A lot of hype around the Bears with Ben Johnson. Are you high on Caleb Williams? Is Jordan Love your number one buy right now? Welcome to the Eric Michaels Show. We are here, and it is late March, and it is one of the best times of the year to start buying football because football is super cheap right now. You have basketball that's getting hot as we get closer to the playoffs. Baseball's about to start. And if you've ever followed anything I've ever had to say, especially with sports cards, you would know that the way the sports card market works is as we get closer to the season, you sell because once the season begins, the reality of sports is most players just don't live up to expectations. It's just how it goes. And because of that, that's why I think football is an actual amazing buy. So what I'm going to do here. So I've decided the best way to do these podcasts because everyone likes to see what I buy. And just, I think that's the best way to really show that, like, how sports cards works and stuff. So I'm just trying to center myself. There we go. Cool. So what I'm going to do here is share my screen, and while we let some callers come in, we'll start taking calls in about 15 minutes from now. Let's go online and look at some stuff to buy. So actually, a place I've been buying some cards. So there's two ways I make money when it comes to buying and selling sports cards. So you have buying cards to get them graded, which is what I'm usually talking about. And then what I also do is buy cards already graded. So let me show you an example. So if we go to my alt, so alt is like a software marketplace. It shows data, it shows trends. And if we go here, this is my alt account. And I think if I go to purchases, no, not purchases. If I go to account activity, so you can see these two cards I bought, and I want to explain to you why I purchased them and really what I was looking at when doing it. So Jordan Love. So this card is of Jordan Love. Let me just show you guys the card. So this is the card. Jordan Love, Red Zone Contenders 2020. So let's take this card. It was the white jersey. So So this was not the exact card I bought, but this was the same variation, same grade. And you can see this is the card I purchased. I purchased it for $17.41. Actually, I got lucky a week after. One sold for $1,900. But why did I buy this card of Jordan Love for $1,700? I think my max bid was like $1,800 or $1,850, something like that. Well, check this out. So everyone's buying Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and all those guys, but Jordan Love is someone who's still really good. The Packers are going to be young and exciting. They sort of underperformed last year. Jordan Love didn't really, I guess, live up to hype, live up to expectation. And because of that, I think he's a great buy. So check this out. So if you go to Market Movers and you look at Jordan Love, PSA 10, Silver Prism. So I use the Silver Prism PSA 10 or just a commonly sold card to get a kind of a gist for his market because it's a pretty commonly sold card. So if you look here, before the season last year, this card is worth like $950, $1,000. So like right around $1,000. And then the season started and he got injured once. The Packers weren't performing up to expectations. The card goes down, and lo and behold, this card is worth almost half of what it once was before the season started. So what that tells me, and you can see in the past 30 days or so, this card is flatlined, right? It's kind of stayed the same. So the Jordan's Love market has stayed like that. So what I say to myself, it's okay. Can Jordan Love have hype? Can he have excitement? I mean, I think he's a great player. He plays for a pretty popular team, the Packers. I think so. And I just ask myself, well, he's probably not going to go down in value, right? I mean, we're in the offseason. There's not much that could happen. He could get injured and things could happen. But I think he's at his floor with only upside, right? That's my theory when buying him. And to show you an example from last year, so someone who I bought a little bit of, I wish I bought more of him, but I didn't, was Kyler Murray. So if you look at Kyler Murray last year, so this is a Silver Prism last year. And if you go here, so actually let's look at, if we do all data. Okay. So yeah, let's do the last 365 days. So last year in the offseason, in March this time, this card was like $295, like right around $300 right here. And if you bought it right here, you could have just said to yourself, well, Kyler Murray was low. Nobody wants him right now. Last year, people were buying Will Levis, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young. Nobody cares about Kyler Murray. Is his value going to go down? Probably not. Is it going to go up? I mean, maybe not, but it's probably not going to go down. So you're putting yourself in a good financial position. Lo and behold, they draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Some excitement happens. Bada bing, bada boom. And before the season started, this same card was worth almost double. So if you bought this card here and you sold it before the season, like here, you could have made like, what is that? Like 30-40% on your money just by buying a card and it literally just sitting there and doing nothing, just sitting on your desk. Now, if you buy these cards and get them graded, that's even better. So that's kind of my overall theory when it comes to buying sports cards, and why right now some of the guys I think are really good buys are the guys nobody's on. I always like to say something is only an opportunity when no one else sees it as an opportunity. So Jordan Love, not bad. And then also someone else alongside Jordan Love, you could see if you go to my alt account here. So I bought this card of Brock Purdy for $9,000. So just to show you the card. So this is a 2022 Cracked Ice Contenders Auto Purdy. Now Brock Purdy is going to be more interesting. I'm actually more confident. I'm more confident in Jordan Love than Brock Purdy's value going up. But I couldn't help myself because it's such a sick card of Brock Purdy. I just had to do it. So if you go to, let's see. Okay, so you can see. So I bought this card for $9,000. All right, so there hasn't been a sale in a long time. And to show you my reasoning, so you have a 9. Actually, that's in 2023. So this is my reasoning for buying it. So if we go look at Brock Purdy, it's the same exact thing, right? Silver Prism, PSA 10, Purdy, 2022. So if you look at Brock Purdy's value, it's pretty similar to Jordan Love or like Kyler Murray of last year, right? This is actually very similar to Kyler Murray, right? This card is worth a little bit more. So this card was like $700. As we got closer to the season, this card spiked all the way up to like $930. So it went up like 20%. And then the season started and the Niners didn't have the season everyone thought they would. And beep, it slowly goes down. And now this same card is worth like $430. So this card is worth half, less than half of what it once was. So this card that I bought of Brock Purdy, there's no picture here for some reason, but this Cracked Ice Contenders, this one, this is the exact card I bought. So there hasn't been a sale in a long time, and this card is honestly kind of a risk, and I don't recommend many people buying it. But I just say to myself, well, if this card's worth $9,000 today, there's very little things that could happen in the next few months for it to go down. And there's a lot of things that could happen for it to go up, right? They could draft the receiver, just the season getting closer. There's just a lot of hype and excitement that builds. Like that's why this happens, right? You see this graph and right, it's staying the same through the offseason. As we get closer to the season and the National Card Show, which is like the biggest card show where football kind of like really takes off, it just pops back. It just starts to pop up. So just hype and excitement. And you got to remember, like 95% of people in sports cards are people that are newer, people that just want to collect their favorite player, people that just buy into the hype, which is nothing wrong with it, but you can make some decent money off of it, right? If you bought this card last year for $730 and you just sat on it and you never even got it graded, you already bought it graded and you sold it here for, what's that, 25% more, you just made 25% on your money in 4 months. That's really good money, right? If you annualize those returns, that's really, really good. If you went up to some guy in Wall Street and said, hey, I make 25% every 4 months, no one would believe you. But you could do it in sports cards because there's just less competition than a market like stocks, right? So that's kind of how it works. And what I promote is doing what I'm showing you here, but buying cards to get graded, right? So I buy cards already graded because I don't have as much time in my life anymore, and I'm fortunate, I have a little bit more money. But you could do this with cards that are $50, $100, $200. Buy them here, get them graded, and when you get these cards back from grading, they're over here. So just a little bit of a, just a little bit of a lesson. But anyways, let's go on eBay and let's go and find some cards. So right now when I'm speaking, it's actually Sunday. And Sunday is the best day usually to buy cards because you have the most amount of auctions ending on eBay. Usually I do these podcasts on Monday, but I'm going to be traveling for a week. So thought I'd decide to do it on Sunday. So let's go on eBay and let's look at some cards. So if we go to Prism, do we want to do Prism? Let's do Prism. And actually, let's do someone who I'm pretty high on as well as Bryce Young. What I want to do is look at Bryce Young, and I like to buy sports cards nowadays the lazy way. Okay. So the lazy way to do it is go to ending soonest. And if you go to auctions, and what you could do, so this is the problem with auctions, right? So if you do like minimum price, like $100, and there's all these auctions, this card is not worth $125, but this guy's starting this auction at $125 because he's scared it's going to sell for less, which it probably will. What you could do is go to advanced up top, do minimum bid count 1, and click search, and boom. So what that does is every single card I'm looking at has at least 1 bid. So what that tells me is these cards are at least within market value, right? If someone bid on it, it's probably within market value. So Bryce Young is someone who I would buy cards already graded if it's something I really want, or cards raw to get graded. Bryce Young cards are going to be a little bit harder to get graded, but let's take a look. So Contenders Optic, is this from, what year is this from? 2023. Why does this seem cheap? Does this card seem bizarrely cheap? I mean, it's not labeled well. Doesn't this card seem bizarrely cheap? Let me look at something. I don't know. This my sensors are going off. Even if I buy this card not grade, which I think it might grade it might not. This just seems cheap, man. Let me look at something here. Let me look at something. So if we go to Optic Contenders, Bryce Young. Let's look at sold items. Let's just look at the highest sold. So out of 13, PSA 10 did 630. Number to 5 did 314. This is numbered to 2 of 2. So this card is out of 50. Did one? This card just seems cheap, man. This just seems bizarrely cheap. I know cheap when I see it. Even if it's a weird card, not something I usually buy. But so a cracked ice, it's like 250. Let me see what this is number 2. What's the cracked ice number 2? Number to 22. So, interesting. Okay, so if the number to 5 does 314, the number to 2 should do like 5 to 600. This card's only at $138 American. This card's actually being sold in Canada as well. You can see this guy's from Canada. Let's see if this says anything. He probably doesn't grade cards because he's in Canada. And let's look at his other items. He just seems like he collects Bryce Young, I guess. There's another Bryce Young card. I'm going to bid on this. I like this. I like this weird card. So what I'll do is what I just did is I copied the eBay item number. You can go into this app called Easy Sniper, and I'll set my max bid. Let me see. I don't know if this card's gradable or not. These cards are hard to grade, but I don't really care. Number to 2. Let me do. So let's bid. I wonder if this is going to do it in American. I don't know if this is going to do it in American or Canadian. I'm assuming this is going to be done in American dollars. So let's do like 602. I really want to win this card. I feel like I can just make a lot of money off this card. Just off intuition. Also, it looks like it could be graded. That's cool. Bryce Young downtowns. Let's look at CJ Stroud. He's another guy who I'd want to buy. Let me go here again because it makes me click search again. So I get that minimum 1 bid. CJ, just do 2023 because I do not want his newer stuff. Do that search again. Let's see what's ending of CJ. These cards are really cool. These Topps Chrome composites, like you can make some pretty good money off of it. Like Topps Chrome CJ Stroud Auto 2023. Even though they're not licensed, so what that means is if you look at this card, you could see it is like there's no logo anywhere, any NFL logo, because Topps doesn't have the license yet for the NFL. They will in a year. But people love Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome football used to be huge back in the day with like Derek Carr in 2014 and Jameis Winston back in 2015. They were like the guys. But then Panini took over and Topps lost the license. But Topps Chrome composite variation, I wonder if there's a PSA 10. So this variation PSA 10. I want to see what this card sells for graded. Graded at 10, 1 to 275. 1 to 373 and PSA 9. See what this card does raw. 136. What's this card at? 130. I'm gonna stay away. This is a sick card. Aqua. This is probably something I'd buy already graded. Let's see. Let's go on market movers and see what this card sells for. Aqua. Optic. Stroud. PSA 10. So you can see the sales. Look at that dip. Look at that nasty dip. Look what this card was worth in the beginning of last year. And then there's one more sale, and boom, 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 and boom, and boom. So this card last sold for $400. Let's see, this card's at what now? 360? Let's look at Aqua Optics CJ Stroud 2023. So this card PSA 10 apparently did 425. Let's go on 130 point. 130 point is like a site that'll show you comps of cards. So the problem with this, so eBay will not show you what the card actually sold for via best offer. Like this sold for 425 or best offer, but the offer could have been 350, 375, 380, you don't know. So if we do Optic Aqua CJ Stroud 2023, I know this. Sometimes there's a lot to look at when it comes to sports cards. You can see this card, like one was 550, but the best offer accepted was 425. Damn, someone got a steal at 290. Is that real? What? 290. That makes me scared to bid on it. 406. This card's already at 360. That 290 sale scares me. I think I'm gonna stay away. That scares the crap out of me, to be honest with you. I probably should bid on it, but I'm not gonna. Blue Wave, CJ Stroud. A lot of good stuff. I love the blue ices, but they sell for so much money. I feel like there's not much to be made with these blue ice PSA 10s. Like this card still sells for like $4,000 or $5,000. I just feel like I could put my money in a better spot, personally. I don't have much CJ Stroud yet. I really am really high on him. I really think he's gonna do well in the offseason, you know? It's just a hunch. I don't have much. I've love. I don't have much Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. Blue Wave. Let's see what the Blue Wave does. 2023 Blue Wave Prism. Oh, that is not how to spell Stroud. Oh, all right. Let's see what else. So this card sells for $960. Card's at $765 with 3 days left. I'm not thrilled with it. Let's look at Anthony Richardson as well. Anthony Richardson. And you guys could start calling him, by the way, that number on the bottom left. If you guys would like. Now we're taking callers. Oh, we got to search again. Anthony Richardson is like a dark horse. Really, nobody's buying him much at all. There's not much. Let's just look at Prism in general and see what's in. This is going to give me a lot of the new guys. If we do Prism, search, let's do not graded. So you could filter by not graded over there on the left-hand side. And you can see, let's see JJ McCarthy, orange Prism. So now I'm going to be looking at cards that get graded. So this corner looks pretty good. You can see it's a nice right angle. It's pretty well centered. This top is the same as the bottom. Let's see if this guy sells. If he grades cards, he probably just breaks, I would imagine. So let's look at what this card actually sells for. So orange at a 249 Prism, JJ McCarthy. Let's see, this card does, as a PSA 9, this is a good indicator. So 227. A PSA 10 only sold for 500. Wow. You would think I thought it would do more, like 600 or 700. So this card is like 180 raw, and a PSA 9 is 227. So that's pretty good, actually. I'm gonna bid on this. This card looks good to me. Let's just look if there's any surface issues. Oh, I can't tell if that's a surface issue or not. Is that a surface issue? I can't tell. I'll need to ask him for better pictures, but it ends in 2 hour action. I'm gonna stay away. That could be a surface issue on the front of it. Let's see what else we got cooking. Caleb Williams. This card's off-centered. You can see this top is bigger than the bottom. That's no good for grading. We have basketball prism came out. Same thing though. This corner on the bottom right is no good. Today's my cheat day, so that's why you see this crazy Starbucks chocolate thing. My girlfriend got me semi-addicted to coffee. Even though I love coffee, I always tried not to drink it, so I never became addicted to it. Because I knew I would. And now I just like it. Unfortunately, I don't like becoming reliant on things, but I just enjoy the taste of coffee so much. Brock Powers, Gold Scope Prism. What the heck is a Gold Scope Prism? I've never even seen this card before. There's some whiting up there. I'm gonna stay away. I've never seen a Gold Scope Prism. I think they're just making up variations of cards now. This is crazy. And I'll go to answering questions in the chat here in about 1 minute. I just want to get one bid in. I want to get one bid in on something. You know what? Let's look at something I really want to buy. Let's look at Drake May. Let's see what Drake May stuff is ending. I think Drake May is a solid buy. I think they're going to pick up some guys, get Stephon Diggs. Let's see what is ending in Mr. Drake May. Premium set Pandora Prism. This card is well centered. This top and bottom are equal. Ooh, that's crispy. That's a nice back right corner. See if this guy grades cards. He probably does not. Drake May out of 400. Let's see what this card sells for. Drake May out of 400. Prism. So this card does, I'll type in Pandora. So Pandora. This card's like $200, not graded, and I wonder if there's an attended $600. So that is pretty good money. Let's get a bid in on this one. So this ends in 10 hours, actually. There's so many cards ending because it's a Sunday. I should do these on Sundays, but I want a life a little bit. Just a little bit. So let me bid on this. It does like high 200s. I'll bid like 189. Actually, let's bid 193. Sweet. Got a bid in. I gotta reconnect my eBay account here in a second. Cool. Well, let's see what questions we got. Sorry, I've been ignoring the chat. Eric, are you coming up to the Chantilly show? No, I am not. Actually, I've been to that show one time, and it was actually pretty good. But I'm not coming up to the Chantilly show. To be straight honest with you, I don't go to many sports cards anymore. My time is just unfortunately best spent in this office or going to like business conferences. I go to like one card show every few months. I might pop out to the St. Petersburg or Tampa or Clearwater show where I live because I live in Tampa, Florida. But I go to the National Card Show. I'll try to go to one other big card show, maybe the Dallas Card Show. I went to the Dallas Card Show a few months ago. I like the Burbank show. I wasn't able to make it out in February, but I'm not, unfortunately. First time on the chat, Eric. Been following since day one. By far my favorite content. Well, I appreciate this, Patrick, but I gotta ask you something. Were you actually following from day one? Day one was about March of 2020 when this whole thing kicked off, and we've really scaled it up in the past like year or so. But Patrick, have you been following since day one, or just in the past few years? Regardless, I appreciate you. but I'm curious. Let me know in the chat. I'm actually fascinated to know. Let's see. Eric, would you try to get a rainbow set of Anthony Edwards on his 2020 Prism rookie cards? So to answer this question, probably not. So unless these cards are gradable, which I doubt, because 2020, that year of Prism, was very difficult to grade, and then most of Anthony Edwards' cards are just graded because he's a really good player, and these cards have been in existence for 5 years. The only way I would buy that set is if you're getting it like 80% of the card value, which I doubt you are. So there's just not much money to be made. And I don't like buying younger players and investing in them long term because most players just don't pan out. Anthony Edwards included, like probably won't pan out his value. This is water, not coffee, by the way. But so probably not would be my answer, unless you're just getting it for straight cheap, which you're probably not. Let's see. Crazy old guy. Is Jordan Love your number one buy right now? So no, I don't. My number one buy. So they're all kind of equal. Like the guys I'm looking to buy are like Stroud. I like. So buying cards already graded. Like buying cards to get graded are like the newer guys because their cards just came out, like Drake May, Michael Penix. The guys who I'm looking to buy already graded. So a nice, I guess, rule of thumb or something I do is the newer guys, you don't want to buy that stuff to get graded because the way it goes with these cards that are newer, the first few PSA 10s start out really high, then they come down, 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 then they might go up just a little bit. So just to show you an example, what I'm talking about. So let's look at this. So if you go to like Jaden Daniels, Silver Prism PSA 10. So this happens all the time. So this card started out high, and you could see it's going to continually go down as there's more comps in the world. So like, to show you another example from last year. So if you go to like CJ Stroud, his Silver Prism. So when it came out, you can see how high it was. It was like $2,000, and then it came down, 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 and down. And then before the season, it went up just a little bit. It went up like 10, 15%. And then it came down because they didn't perform up to expectations. So there's more money made with buying the guy. If you're going to buy a card already graded, you want to buy someone like that's in the toilet, right? You want to buy, I always say, something is only an opportunity when no one else sees it as an opportunity. So for example, I was showing Kyler Murray before last year and how his value doubled. It's because at this time of the year, no one else saw him as an opportunity. So like Jordan Love, Stroud, Bryce Young, Richardson, Purdy, I think these are all great buys. And to me, they're all like semi-equal. It's more about me looking for the right type of card. So like there's certain types of cards that appreciate well, and there's certain types of cards that don't. So like Topps Chrome will probably not appreciate that well because it's not licensed, as opposed to like that Contenders Cracked Ice. Like Contenders is a very well-known card. It's a very liquid card. It's like the staple of their rookie cards. So it's more about me looking for the right types of cards, like the Cracked Ice, Brock Purdy. Like I wouldn't say Brock Purdy is my number one by far, but that type of card that I bought, that $9,000 Brock Purdy, I think it's actually behind me. You could vividly see it behind me. No, you can't. Oh yeah, you could. It's that card in the middle, right over, wrong way, right over there. But like that type of card is what excites me. So, but Jordan Love's not my number one buy. If I had to like put a number one, I'd probably say maybe it is. Maybe like Love, Bryce Young, and Stroud are all like kind of tied, I guess. Do you take international calls? Yeah, call up the number below. It should go through. You may have to put a +1. I think. A lot of hype around the Bears with Ben Johnson. Are you high on Caleb Williams? No. So buying his cards to get graded, yes. But I don't think his value is going to appreciate much because it's already so hyped and so excited. So probably not. Like I wouldn't buy his cards already graded. I put like Drake May, Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, all those guys like kind of in an equal sort of class in terms of hype. Got a caller coming in? Australia? Oh, yeah. You got Eric live?
G'day, Eric.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Elvis.
Elvis, what's up, man? It says your call's from Australia. but I don't hear an Australian
Yeah,
accent.
yeah, from Australia.
Oh, now I hear it.
No, yeah.
What's up, man?
I got two questions.
Go for it.
First one, what are your thoughts on like auto grading as well as normal grading?
Okay. And do you want me to answer each
And
question?
the other one,
Oh, yeah, go for the other
yeah,
one.
you
Go for
answer
the
that
other
one
one.
first. No, answer that one.
I'll answer that.
Um,
I'll answer that one first. So the auto grading versus non-auto
yeah,
grading.
okay.
So with PSA,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So PSA is very okay. So it's not like a double-edged sword. So if the autograph looks perfect, send it in for grading. A
Yeah.
PSA 1010 will usually up the value of the card. Like if a PSA 10 of a card's worth $500, but you have a 10 autograph, it'll up about like 10 to 20% the value. So yes, do it if the autograph is perfect. However, if you think the autograph even has the smallest smudge or the smallest streak in it, or if the autograph is running off the card, do not do it. Because so the way I look at grading an autograph, getting a 10 on an autograph, it'll up the value of the card about 10%. But if the card comes back a PSA 10 with a 9 autograph, it'll diminish the value by 30 to 40%. So because of that,
Yeah.
make sure that autograph is perfect. It's not, yeah, that's how autograph grading works, essentially, to answer your question.
Yeah. My other question was like I've got a bankroll, but
Okay.
this card's in perfect condition. Should I spend it all on this one card and grade it?
What's your
Or
bankroll?
like buy multiple? For Australian, it's like 3,000. So probably like 2K US.
2K US? No, that's a terrible idea. So, yeah, very
You
bad
don't
idea.
think I should buy the one?
What card is it?
It's a Paolo.
No, don't.
Like it's a low numbered prism Paolo.
No, I would not. So, is your goal like what's your goal? Is your goal to make like a side income with sports cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not do that. So, if you have $2,000 US, your money. So, okay, so like more expensive cards are harder to grade because when you're buying cards for like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, you're dealing with a different type of person, and usually the people like that usually grade cards. So, I think we lost him. But to answer his question, so buying cards at like $100, $200, you're dealing with people that are just breaking open packs and boxes, just having fun. These people don't even want to grade cards. So a much higher percent of those cards that are $100 are actually going to grade, number one. Number two, when you get them graded, you're able to sell it to the average collector. There's much more demand for these players. These cards are like $300. So your profit margins on a card that's $100 usually going to be higher than a card that's $1,000, the profit margin percentage. So if you buy a card for $100, you might be able to sell it as a PSA 10 for 300. So you're tripling your money. I think we lost you, Elvis.
Yeah, so I think
I was in the middle of answering your question. But to answer your question, you're better off buying cards in that $50, $100, $200 range because it's much easier to grade cards that are much cheaper because buying cards that are more expensive, usually you're dealing with people that know what they're doing. They're not really going to give you great deals, etc. And you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You know, you want to play the numbers game. Like sports cards, grading sports cards is an amazing game because if it gets a 9, you break even or maybe lose a little bit of money, but if it makes it grades a 10, you make a lot of money. So you want to be able to grade like 60 to 70% of the cards and get it to be a 10. So to answer your question, I would not if it was me.
I've got one last thing I just thought of.
Go for it.
What's your thoughts on cracking a 9.5 BGS into regrading it into a PSA side?
So I've done so have you bought it yet? Or you have the card on you already?
No, but like there's a Kobe rookie and it's at a really good price.
The
So
problem is it's going to be hard to get a Kobe rookie to get a PSA 10. You want to make sure if the card gets a PSA 9, you're going to break even.
Yeah.
That's the key. If a PSA 9 is going to lose you half your money, I wouldn't. Because even if the card looks like it's in perfect condition, PSA is just hard with those cards because they just want to control the
Yeah.
population report. So because of that,
Yeah.
I would probably not, but it just the numbers need to make sense. Like if the BGS 9.5 is $1,000 and a PSA 9 is $900, but a PSA 10 is $3,000, then I would. Then the numbers make sense. But if a Beckett 9.5 is $2,000, a PSA 9 is 1,000, and a PSA 10 is 3,000, I would not.
So thanks, bro.
All right, Elvis. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Yep, go for it. You got Eric. You're live.
Hey, how's it going, Eric?
What's up, man? What's your name?
My name's Devin. I've been watching you for quite a while now, so this is pretty cool.
How long have you been watching me?
Probably the last 2 months.
Ah, nice. Have you learned anything? What's the biggest thing you learned?
I would say the biggest thing I learned is definitely eBay is the way to go over Whatnot. Because I first got into cars from Whatnot, but then you showed me how to buy on eBay and how to find deals on eBay. And it's been amazing.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, well, Whatnot, I'm assuming you were breaking on Whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just going to the casino. You're just gambling. So all I did was
I think casino has better odds than breaking on
oh
Whatnot.
yeah, dude, you're better luck playing roulette, playing poker, playing blackjack than breaking. Yeah, well, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy I was able to help you fix your gambling addiction just a little bit.
Appreciate it. I do have a question. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people might be able to relate to it.
Let it rip.
Would you say it's better to have 20 cards that are worth $50 or 100 cards that are worth $10?
What's your goal? I'm assuming your goal is to make an income with sports cards, like most people.
Yes, sir. 100%.
So just buying cards that are $10 is rarely ever going to happen to get cards that get graded. So if you've been following my content, have you ever heard me talk about the 2x rule? How you want to at least double your money?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That you only send it if it's going to double your money.
Yep.
And it must be 10 or as long as you think it's going to be a 10.
yeah. So buying a card that's $10, it's hard to make that happen. Like the sweet spot for grading cards is like buying cards that are like $75, $100, $150. So
Yeah.
So to answer your question, buying cards that are $10, if you're doing what I'm saying, you're probably not going to have cards that are worth $10 to begin with. And then number two,
Okay.
yeah, just to keep it simple, it's like an irrelevant question, I guess, because if you're following what I say, you shouldn't have cards that are worth $10.
Yeah. I actually using your eBay method, this dude had a DK International downtown
Okay.
listed for 300. I was like, you know what? Because I was watching your video, I think you posted like 2 weeks ago, where
Okay.
you were just messaging people like, hey, why not? You know, like what's the worst that happens?
Yeah.
And he took 170 for it, and last sale was 370.
And what is it? What kind of card? A DK Metcalf?
International, yeah, downtown 2023.
Well, I'll offer you 180 for it. No, I'm kidding.
2023.
What year is it from? Let's look this. So hold on, I'm gonna share my screen and look this up because I'm curious now. So following my methods, you bought
A downtown
wow
international
the last
DK.
Jesus the last sale was $372. You got it for 170.
I got it for 170.
You should be arrested for robbery. That's insane.
He said that his wife didn't want him into it because he's spending a lot of money. So
Oh, that's why.
it's my game, but yeah, I'm trying to see if I can just get 80% because I'm still making profit.
Can it grade?
Or maybe I'll send it to PSA. Oh yeah, it's nice.
Do you want to send it? You want to text it over to me, and I could look at it and let you know what I think of the condition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can send you a text. Is this your personal number?
This is like we have a separate phone number for this podcast, but just text it to this number, and I'll pull it up on my
Okay.
I'll pull it up on my screen, then I'll let you know I'll let you know what
All
I think
right,
of it.
perfect. All right, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, dude, no problem.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Let's see. We have Jason says, love the content. Would love to see follow-ups of your easy sniper bids of the ones you actually win and send them out to get graded when they come back as. Yeah, I probably win I should probably do more of that. I probably win 20% of the things I put in. But yeah, I'll start to show cards that get graded because I have most of the process automated. Like when I buy a card, it just goes to like a facility, they grade it for me, and they'll sell for me if they want. So I don't even touch it really. I just usually focus on more of the buying because buying the cards is the trickiest part and the part that most people struggle with. If you're buying the right stuff at the right time, selling the stuff is pretty easy. So yeah. But yeah, it's a good question. I will give you a follow-up on that for sure. And let's see, we have James here that says, is it better to try and sell an expensive card that only some people can want or trade down and get multiple liquid cards that are easier to sell? So generally speaking, it's a broad question, but generally speaking, it's buying more affordable cards to buy and get graded are just easier to sell, easier to move, higher profit margins. You're going to get people that'll pay stronger for them. So a card that's worth $300 of Jaden Daniels, for example, you'll find someone that'll pay you $300 because it's an affordable card. But something that's $3,000, people are going to want a discount: $2,500, $2,600, $2,700. So just general principle, cards that are in the few $100 range, that's the best price point to stick to, especially if you're looking to buy a grade and flip and turn this into a side income. Let's see what else we got here. So buying graded cards on year 3 QBs that are down right now sounds like it covers what you're strategizing this offseason. That's what I do every single offseason. So, but there's a certain method and madness to it. So you want to be buying. So I would just go out there and start buying random cards because there's only certain types of cards that appreciate well and certain types of cards that don't appreciate well. And then if also some of these cards that appreciate well, they're a little bit more higher end. They're more rare. So you have to know what to pay for them because there's not a lot of sales in them. It's not like a commonly sold card of that's $100 and this card's worth $100. There's going to be not a lot of sales. So you have to know what to pay. And then number 3, you want to be able to ask yourself what players are going to have the most amount of hype this offseason. You don't just buy any random players. You could because you never know what's going to happen. But I have a certain method to it. But the most important thing is buying the right types of cards and buying them at the right price. So you pick your players. I just said, I have my 5-6 players that I'm looking to buy, Love and Stroud, Young and Purdy and blah, blah, blah. But I have my guys. Sure, that's great. But it's more about the type of card. Is it the contenders cracked ice, red zone contenders, good prism color? So the right types of cards appreciate well, gold XRCs, tie-dye XRCs, stuff like that appreciates well. There's certain types of cards for every sport because you could go off and buy a card of CJ Stroud and CJ Stroud goes up 50% in the next 3 months, but you bought a shitty type of prism monopoly, something that's not even a football card, but something. And you're like, well, I can't sell this card and I should be making money on this because you didn't buy the right type of card. So it's a double-edged sword. You need the right player and the right type of card. You need both. But let's help our boy out here. Let's pull up this card. This is it, Kavi? So this is what our boy just sent us. I cannot see this card that well. I need a better picture, but from what I could see here, I can't tell if that's a glare, the bottom right corner. I don't know if that's, make sure that bottom right corner is a sharp right angle. I need to see the back, but overall, I would probably send this card in for grading. It's not that crazy of a card to get graded. And let's see what else you got here. You might as well, right? Brock Bowers, this is also a nice card. These cards are not so easy to grade. Yeah, we need to see it out of the case because there's scratches on the case. But yeah, I need a better picture of that Metcalf, but I'd probably send it in for grading. Do you get the best deals easy sniping on Sundays? I find that buy it now sellers are hard to negotiate with. So the best deals, so the best cards are usually the ones that aren't auctioned. So it takes a little bit more time. I just do the auctions because I don't have as much time and I could buy almost guaranteed cards because I'll offer on something, then I won't look at eBay for 2 or 3 days because of my schedule. So that's why I do the auctions. But the best types of cards and the best deals are usually found within actually offering. You could take people off of eBay and do all sorts of good stuff like that. So generally speaking, obviously it's not an absolute. Buy it now sellers are the best place, or best offer is the best place, where you're actually making offers on eBay. Any other questions from you folks or any other callers? Looks like this will be a little bit of a shorter podcast. I usually do these on Mondays, and that's actually, I was actually curious. What's up, Mr. Productions? Ask your question. I actually usually do these podcasts on Mondays, but I have to do it on Sunday today. I was curious what the turnout would be. Looks like Monday's the day. It looks like Monday is the day. But yeah, hopefully this podcast provided you guys some value. But if there's no other questions, I know it's a Sunday. I'm sure people are with their families and all that good stuff. I could end it here. It's no worries. If you guys have any questions in the future, usually we go live Monday 10 a.m. and starting next week, next week, we're going to start doing it on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. as well. We're going to start doing it twice a week. Give you guys as much value as humanly possible. I enjoy doing these things as well. I enjoy talking. Super fun. So if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Any questions, feel free to call in when I go live. You can just join the email list as well. We let you know before we're going live as well. I do appreciate you guys. There's one more caller. Oh, yeah, ended. It's probably because he realizes I'm going off. But anyways, do appreciate you guys. Whoever just called in, sorry, just call in next week. We'll be live again. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.